Hey, so we have here my client Kriti from Germany. She's a perimenopausal woman and she joined the Menothrive program 6 months ago. And today we are celebrating her graduation. Congratulations, Kriti.
Thank you so much, Rividya. And it's your help, your motivation, and your guidance that has brought me to this point. So thank
Thank you.
you a lot.
Thank you. That means a lot, Kriti. And it was all your efforts, right? I was there guiding you and holding you accountable and supporting you. Ultimately, at the end of the day, it was your efforts, Kriti. So please pat yourselves on the back. You did an amazing job. Despite all the chaos, all kinds of struggles, you stayed committed to the process. You trusted the process. So appreciate that, Kriti. Just quickly, if you can just share a little bit about yourself. Where did you find yourself 6 months ago?
So I have been actually dealing with conditions like fibromyalgia and chronic fatigue syndrome and Hashimoto's. And on top of that, I'm perimenopausal. It was actually a lot of things to deal with. So for last decade, I have been struggling with fibromyalgia and CFS. And I was basically told there is no cure for this. I have to work on my lifestyle to be able to deal with it. In 2023, I started taking medication to treat fibromyalgia pain. So the pain was improved definitely, but these medications are basically neurotransmitters. And the side effect of one of this particular medication was A, I was feeling very drowsy, and B, I suddenly put on a lot of weight. That was again, that added to the stress that I was already living with. And it's went straight up to 10 kgs from like 63, 64. I went up to 75 kgs. So it was very stressful situation. And I was telling myself all the time that it's okay, it happens, it's okay, it happens. But somewhere in my mind or in my heart, I didn't agree with this thought process that it was okay. It was really bothering me. And then the relatives started commenting that you put on so much of weight, you should do this and that. So that again added to the pressure. The society doesn't understand that it's already a lot that you are dealing with, but their commenting also added to the lot of pressure. So it was a very bad situation I was struggling with, and I had completely lost hope that I could feel better in terms of my own body image. I would be like okay with it, or so I was just trying to ignore it. But my sister-in-law, she recommended me to she recommended that I speak to you and join the program because she had already seen results, and I also saw a lot of change in her confidence, in her the way she was looking, her skin was better. So many things had changed in her when she was doing the program, and that triggered that I should also connect with you. And probably that was the last resort I was holding to, somewhere that okay, things might change, might not change, whatever, but it's worth trying for. And initially, when the program started, I really had no hope, not even very little hope. It was no hope that I could change anything in my life. So I was looking for easier goals so that I don't get disappointed by the end of the program if I have not met my goals. But 6 months have been very, very, I would say, eye opening for me. They were really eye opening for me. And so many things apart from losing weight, so many things I have learned about myself, so many things I have changed about myself, you know. Like initially you would ask me what was your what were the wins, small victories that you had to do in last 2 weeks after our call, and I just could not recount anything. What were the victories? Because I never bothered to consider even small things as victories. For me, victory was the ultimate goal that I was chasing, and if that hasn't happened, then I haven't done anything or I haven't won over anything. That mindset change was very welcoming. That you need to learn. I think it took me almost like 2 3 months to come to a point when you asked me that what were the little victories that you had in last 2 weeks? And I was like, okay, Srividya is going to ask me this question. What is it that I can say? Then I started thinking like that. Okay, let me recount. Let me recall. What was it? Was it? And that's how the change started. So I think I was really stuck for in initial 2 to 3 months still, and the main progress happened after December. We joined the program. I think we started the program in October, November,
Right.
and still 2.5 months, I was like beating myself. No, no, this can't happen. This can't happen. This can't happen. Yeah. So
Thank you
mind
for
shifting.
sharing that. Yeah. I still remember our first conversation, Kriti, and how you had shown up with absolute loss of confidence and hope. I clearly remember that. You were struggling so much in pain, dealing with a lot of physical pain, and that transferring over to mental agony, emotionally very down, lot of mood swings, very low self-esteem and low self-confidence, right? So much that was going on around you, within you, that you had no clue what was going on, how to even start, where to even start.
Hmm. That's
What
true.
should I change? Such a muddled and confused state of mind, right? On
Yeah.
top of that, so many things that you hear about on the internet. Oh, should I give up certain things? Should I change this? You are like totally clueless at that point, right? So, what prompted you to take this leap of faith?
I told you it's what I saw with my sister-in-law, how she had transformed. That brought in conviction. I was struggling with the idea of joining the program for already 6 months, but when I saw her transformation, I realized, that was like a living proof in front of me. Because she was looking slimmer, she was looking prettier, she was more confident, she looked more happy after, going through the program with you. So that was the trigger that I decided, no, I also need to try this out. So she had been recommending this program for a very long time, but when I saw the results in front of me with her change, in the changes that she's been through, it was very obvious that I have to give this program a try. So that was the main trigger. I think when you see the proof right in front of your eyes, you cannot ignore it anymore. So,
So that was the big thing, right? Seeing your sister-in-law go through, and she also went through a very similar transformation in six
hmm,
months, literally
hmm,
unrecognizable, and more so than the physical shifts, the mental and the emotional shifts that she felt in her confidence, in her energy, right?
hmm.
Incredible transformation, and that prompted you to work on yourself, right? Even though you
Absolutely.
had the desire, you didn't know if it was possible. That was the mindset that you came to me with,
The
right?
block, yeah, the mind, yeah. So,
So physically, give me an idea of what were you exactly dealing with apart from the pains. How much did you weigh at that point?
uh, about 75, 76 kgs. So, I mean, all my life I never had to worry about weight. So, because I was, uh, maximum my weight would touch in to 64, 65 kgs. I really never had to worry about my weight. And that was like a topic where my friends used to tease me, you eat so much, you don't have to worry about your weight, we have to keep it in check. So, and then suddenly this shift happened. I think last I was about 75 kgs when I was pregnant with my son. So that was in 2013, and then after that in last 2 years, I suddenly put on so much of weight. Apart from that, I was obviously in pain because of fibromyalgia. My fatigue levels were very high. I used to spend time sleeping most of the time during the day. That was also a side effect of one of the medications, that I was very drowsy. I think to subside the pain, the medication used to make me very drowsy, so I sleep and I don't feel the pain. Um because of all this, definitely my house or my home and my family were like out of place, because I was just in a survival mode.
Mm.
So you just trying to survive the day. So that was the condition when I started the program.
Absolutely. So that, of course, poor sleep and fatigue and loss of energy, not able to run the household like you would like. That was the space that we found you, right? So physically, how are you doing now, Kriti?
The one good thing that happened as soon as we started the program, that medication in particular, which was causing all this chaos, you know, was discontinued it. So that was like a big, um, starting point or a big change from where things started building on. As far as physically I am concerned, there's a lot to achieve right now still, but I'm much in a much better space mentally. I have more mind space, which is very good. I'm using that, and I have more time because I'm not sleeping as much as I used to just to survive. And I have been able to push myself to go out more, to meet my friends, which was not happening at all. Household chores are still secondary. I don't feel like doing them. But I'm able to spend more time with my son, which could obviously this was one of the goals that we had, written when we started the program, that I want to spend more time with my son physically. Otherwise, I was just sleeping and he was just doing his things like on his own. But now we talk, we fight, we watch television together. So things have improved, definitely improved from where I was.
Incredible. And physically, I mean, you have lost like almost more than 10 pounds and
Hmm.
incredible in terms of measurements. I mean, that's, see, again, when you're 40 plus and perimenopausal, that itself is a difficult ball game to deal with. And on top of that, you had Hashimoto's and, fibromyalgia. So that's like a total different curveball that you had to navigate, right? And typically during perimenopausal phase, women do put on a lot of weight simply because the metabolism slows down. There are other eating habits that crop up, mood swings, cravings, emotional stress, that leads us to eat even more food for comfort. So that is so difficult, but it can be navigated. And you are proof for that, Kriti. You've been
Hmm.
able to lose 10 pounds in 6 months and more than 60 centimeters from all over your body. You just shared your body composition picture today. And I couldn't help see that, oh my God, you literally look like a school student. That's so amazing. How did that feel to
Oh,
see yourself?
nice.
The bloating has come down, the midsection fat has come down, everything is like on shrunk version.
Yeah, it gives you so much of confidence, that you're looking nice, you're feeling fine, people notice and they compliment, okay, look, you've lost weight. It gives you so much of confidence and peace of mind, something which I was really struggling with, that what will happen? I have put on so much of weight. How will I manage the rest of my life? Maybe it's gonna create more issues, health issues. All that stress was going on. And then now when I've lost weight, I know I am in control of my life. It's not that my weight or my body or my mind controlling me. I can control my life. That's such a big reassurance. And, it more than confidence, I think you feel happy. You feel happy from within. And the best part about the program is that you never ask me not to eat anything. You never told me to give up something. It's just about moderating, eating things in moderation that you learn eventually. So when I go out with my friends, I'm not stressed as I used to be. That, oh, what will happen if I'll eat this thing? What will happen? I'm gonna put on weight. I'm gonna fall back to the same situation. All that stress has been lifted from my mind. And that is such a big, there's a sense of relief now that I feel in my head, and the stress levels have gone down. So it's very, very, what would I say? Really reassuring that, okay, I can control my life now without giving up anything that I like. So,
Wow, that's simply amazing, right? And I totally hear you about what you said, being a victim to that weighing scale. or that number on the scale, right? Like, oh my God, what's going to happen? That literally controls every single action of ours. And there is this fear, oh my God, if I've gained so much weight already, what's going to
Hmm.
happen in the next 3 to 5 years?
Future.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, we worry about our health and other parameters that could go wrong because of this weight
Mm-hmm.
gain. But now you are in such an amazing space. You feel so free. There is no stress in your head about your weighing scale or the habits. You exactly know how to eat, what portions. So we worked on your meal planning and meal prepping, bringing a little bit of structure and system to your day. How useful was that, Kriti?
Oh, that was a what do you call it? Life-changing experience. Meal planning and meal prep. Both of them, for that matter. Meal planning because I was taking control of my own, eating habits, and meal prep helped me with also not only to take care of myself but also giving the right uh, nutrition to my family. So meal planning made life very simple. uh, that you know what are the major what do you call ingredients or anything in the food, the proportion of, like, those, I call them three pillars of healthy eating: fiber, protein, and hydration, and how much carbs. It has made life so simple. It is like thumb rule that could be followed and sustained all through life. And that was a real game changer. Because till then, it's not that I was not trying. I was trying, but I was trying to listen to other people, other nutritionists online and everything. But nobody had given me such clear cut indications of how to plan your meal. Right. And that was a game changer because instantly we started noticing the change, which I was not expecting it to happen. Like within few weeks, the bloating went away. I was feeling much more lighter in my body. And as far as meal prep was concerned, that was like a lifelong challenge I have had since I've been married: what to cook, what not to cook. Then we worked on this like 15, and you told me, like, work, get your 10, 15, 20 recipes, that works with for you and your family. And it that is something which really cleared up my mind space, that those 15 recipes or 20, obviously you keep on adding to it now, but initially I think we spent good 2 months to come to a point where I had like 10, 15 recipes I can fall back to at any given time. And and with hit and trial we figured this out. And then the best thing that happened was my son's reaction, that he was enjoying food and not complaining about it. And I was satisfied and reassured that yes, what I'm putting on the table is also helping him. So that stress is also gone, that, oh, how to take care of my family, how to take care of their nutrition. So it was like a bonus that I had with that meal plan and meal prep. And
Exactly.
seriously, it has really simplified my life very much.
Absolutely. So when we change, I mean, we continue to be the pillar in our family, right? So when we change our habits, and when the habits are integrated with the family's choices and preferences,
Hmm.
literally you didn't have to cook anything separately for yourself, Kriti. It was not like
Yeah,
a diet plan that was shoved on your face
not
and
at
said,
all.
"Oh, you've got to follow this strictly." It was basically some guidelines that were offered, and we tweaked it to support your lifestyle and your family's choices. So literally, when you changed your habits, you started feeding your family much better also. So then again, you
Absolutely.
feel very good. Oh, you know what? It's not just for me. I'm doing this for everybody around, right?
Exactly, rightly said. It's not like added work. On the contrary, it made my life and made my work very simple. It's like you said, I didn't have to do double, to twice the cooking, that I'm doing something for myself and then I'm doing something for them. And that was my biggest hesitation, I think, before we started the program, that like I do not have the physical strength to do so much, that I'm doing something for myself separately and something for my family separately. I didn't have the capacity to do it. So it really, really simplified my life.
You would
And
have
that
ran
is,
away, Kriti, if I
I
had
would have ran,
given.
yeah, I would have run away. Absolutely. If I had to do that, I would have really run away. But I'm so glad I didn't. because it has really made my life very simple. So,
Super. So, given what you had to deal with, Kriti, in terms of really a lot of self-doubts, your limiting beliefs, right? We had to really tailor make the program to support you to make gentle shifts.
hmm,
Everything was extremely simple and practical and very small, so that you walked away feeling super confident. I remember our early days where simple things used to overwhelm you.
yes,
No
yeah, yeah,
fault of yours. You did not have the bandwidth to focus on so much. I remember this conversation time and again. Shrividya, I cannot handle so much in my head. I
yeah,
need I need everything simplified. And even little guidelines would really overwhelm you. So we would break it down and say, Kriti, it's actually very simple. You have the strength. You got this. Right. So
yes.
that had to happen. And then you kind of took off. So tell me about the mindset related shifts that you're
Mhm.
noticing now, Kriti, from where you were to now? The perfectionist mindset, a lot of limiting beliefs, self doubts, not accounting for anything as a very big win that you already talked about in the beginning. But tell me about what other mindset shifts are you noticing now?
So this attitude, you have really very well named it. It's all or nothing attitude. It's a killer. It's definitely a killer because you are just chasing the ultimate goal, and obviously you will not be able to achieve it in a short span of time, and you're not recognizing the amount of effort because you're all the time you feel that you're failing, because that ultimate. So if you talk about weight loss, so if my goal was like 5 kgs or 6 kgs to lose in this 6 months, if I'm not, for me, if I was not achieving that, I was not doing anything, I was an absolute failure. Oh, it is so liberating to break through that and start recognizing small things, that okay, you have made so much of effort, appreciate it. It's little bit, but it's taking you in the right direction. Till that time you're following your path, that's going to take you to the ultimate achievement of your goal. It's fine. So I have learned to break through. It's like it's part of, it's so integrated in my life that I still struggle with it, but I've become aware of it, which is very, very good, because now I can take a back seat and tell myself it's happening, Don't worry, it's happening. You are heading in the right direction. So that was one of the most liberating experiences I had during the program. The shift in this all and nothing. And then secondly, I have learned to be very patient and to be very kind to myself. I was very, very harsh on myself, very harsh to start with, that if this is not happening, that is not happening. The ultimate picture I had in my mind was something else, and I was far from there. But I have learned to become kind and patient to myself. It's okay. It's you will do it. So that confidence has come back, and it's okay. I've become very I think very, what do you call, not I mean, self confidence has obviously increased, but I've become very nice person to myself, I would say, a nice friend to myself. More confident in a sense that I know what I am doing is right. That self
Mm.
doubt is was also very killing, because when you don't see the results, you are always doubting yourself, what is happening, whether what you're doing is right or not. But I have become a good friend to myself now, telling myself all the time, it's okay. It is happening. You remember that time when we said it's okay is my motto nowadays.
Yeah.
It was it was like 1 or 2 months back. I was like, "Srividya, it's okay is my motto now in life. It's okay. If this is happening, it's okay. If that is happening, it's okay. It will happen. It will happen." So that is a very positive mind shift that I have experienced. Instead of like killing myself over things, this, you're not doing this right, you're not doing that right, you're not giving your family what they need, you're not able to spend time with your son. So many things I was just like, worrying about all the time. And then from there to suddenly come to a point where things are not going right. I had fallen sick so many times during this entire program. And then I felt, okay, I have to start from the scratch. Then instead of beating myself over it, I decided to tell myself, it's okay. So become very gentle and kind to myself. That was
Absolutely.
hmm.
Gentle and kind to yourself, and immense mental strength and emotional resilience that you have built along the process, Kriti, right? I remember the first couple of times I would ask, Kriti, how did last couple of weeks go? And you would say, Srividya, I didn't do anything. And then slowly, as we started talking, you would say, Srividya, I did that, I did this. And then I had to like spotlight and say, hey, Kriti, look,
Yeah.
you've been able to do it. So let's start recognizing these small things that you're doing, right?
Hmm.
So it's a question of training our mind to think differently, Kriti. We are all equipped with that. Somewhere we kind of get blindsided and we look at certain things only from one lens. We need to kind of take this bird's eye view of everything and seeing,
Yeah.
because they are not just the person who's doing fulfilling one role, right? We are doing so
Hmm.
many things in the day. So it's very easy to miss what we are doing for ourselves or the other people. We
Hmm.
think with a very rigid mindset that if I did all of these, that's when it counts, right? So this kind of broadens your perspective about how to look at things. So now shifting gears, okay? So perimenopause again brings in a whole lot of mood swings. On top
Hmm.
of that, the kind of stress that you were dealing with personally owing to fibromyalgia and the lack of sleep and recovery and all of that threw a huge curveball into that. Mood swings and the cravings. So tell me about what was going on before and how are you doing now?
So before I was doing a lot of emotional eating. So it was like I'll I'll take my fill my plate as I used to, and then I'll continue eating because I was not feeling satisfied. That hunger satisfaction was not there. I will eat and eat and eat, and still I will not feel, happy or satisfied with my meal. So I connected this with the mental stress or the family stress that I was going through, but emotional stress because of everything. But it didn't stop. I tried to regulate it on my own. It didn't stop. Plus, I was in order to just relax my mind, I used to be watching TV till late night. That was also a problem. And while watching TV, I used to snack a lot. I think that was also a very big challenge for me, that I was snacking because I was really, really trying to comfort myself emotionally, and food was the only available option in my circumstances that was in my control. Uh, all those things, and then the cravings during the day. I was never a person who was fond of sweets, but in last couple of years I became so dependent on sugar or sweets or anything.
Namkeen, no, I remember. Srividya, I
Namkeen
have to have the
also.
namkeen.
Yeah, namkeen also there. uh so much was out of control. It was completely chaotic, it was completely out of control, and I really didn't know what to do with it. But as probably we started focusing more on nutrition, um, things started to change on its own. I didn't have to like put a hard stop anywhere. It gradually happened that I started enjoying my meal. I was in a position to control or moderate how much amount of rice or roti I have to take along with it. Then eventually, automatically, it happened. I stopped binge watching. I didn't feel the need to do that anymore, because I think that was also a way of taking control of emotional stress, binge watching television. Then I was compromising on my sleep, and along with that, I was eating midnight snacking and all. That also gradually changed. It automatically faded away slowly. I didn't again have to put a hard stop. So, I mean, the conclusion is that when the nutrition started working in my body, so many things changed automatically. I was not dependent on external sources to get me that calm in my life, or take away the pressure from me. So the post dinner snacking stopped eventually, and I was feeling more satisfied with my meals, especially dinner. There was lot more energy. At least I was getting aware that okay, this thing is making me dull, or that thing is making me energetic. That awareness came. So many mind shifts happened on its own. I started prioritizing sleep. Trying to build up a healthy sleep routine. It's still a challenge, but I am like not there where I was 6 months ago. It has progressed so much from there. And the sweet cravings went down on their own. Plus, I told you that Srividya, if I have the craving to have namkeen, I'll pick up, like maybe a small portion instead of bowls of namkeen which I used to have. I'll take like for 1 or 2 spoons and I feel satisfied just because of the taste. So that intuition that was missing completely, it started coming on its own, that okay, I'm satisfied with 2 spoons of namkeen, my craving is satisfied. I don't have to like finish the whole packet of chips or anything like that. So that self control came, and it came very, it wasn't forced, it came very gradually on its own. That was the best part, that I really didn't have to be
Absolutely.
so hard to myself. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that, Kriti. So, couple of the skill sets that we work on during our program is definitely nutrition, because I feel weight loss should come from a space of nourishment and not starvation.
Yeah.
So, you eat to nourish yourself, and your body composition automatically takes its shape. We don't have to chase a number on the scale. It will happen automatically because you are now satisfied, you're much happier, the cravings come down, the need to snack in between meals come down, you're
Mm-hmm.
much happier emotionally as well, right? Because whatever you eat contributes to your emotional well-being, your
Mm-hmm.
mental focus, your awareness, all that improve, because you're not constantly thinking about where is my food going to come from. Food doesn't bog your mental space, because you're now at every regular meal you're nourishing yourself so well, right? So the mood swings, that came down as well, right? So, which I remember the first one of your goals you mentioned
Mm-hmm.
is spending a lot of time with my son. Definitely that happened. Feeling
Mm-hmm.
energetic, feel better, top of things, manage chores, cook, meet a friend, be in control of things. How do you feel
Yeah.
about those, Kriti?
Oh, my social life is expanding, which I had not thought was possible in given the condition I was in. And I'm I'm last 10 days, I think I've been so busy going out, meeting my friends, which was I couldn't have imagined doing that.
Super.
So, yeah. So that feels nice. One thing which I also wanted to mention, which I forgot, guilt has gone down when it comes to food. It has gone down drastically, that, okay, if I'm out with my friend, I can't do this, I can't eat this, I shouldn't eat this, but I have to, I want, all that thing which takes so much of your mind space, all that has been pushed aside. I know if I'm going out and if I'm eating out with my friends, I know I'll be able to manage, or the damage, probably what would happen, I will be able to work on it and recover from that. So that guilt eating has gone down to a large extent, which I think which we all women do, that we eat with a sense of guilt. um apart from that, so socializing is one thing which I see definitely getting more active. Spending time with my son, we are like at each other's throat all through the day, which is a positive sign that I'm able to give him time, because
Yeah, to
otherwise,
have the energy to do that, right? I mean, you used to
absolutely,
struggle so much, sleeping all the time. You wouldn't even know
yeah,
what was going on around you, right? So now you're like
absolutely.
involved and being a part of everything. The other thing is travel, Kriti. You are someone who loves travel, and we had couple of travel that happened during the program. How do you feel about the skills you have learned to manage during travel or going out to eat at restaurants?
It's
What is the kind of confidence it's given you?
it's very much possible. It's possible. It's not like that if you're traveling, so you have to suffer because you're on a diet program or something. Uh, it's just about the awareness of how to get that thing on your plate, the right proportions. And even if you are at a place where you're not able to get the right things on your plate, not much of a harm has happened to you. You can always, I remember one sentence that you told me is like, okay, if you're not able to manage something, your food or the nutrition for one meal, focus on the next meal. which is in your control. So I work by that rule of thumb. Um, and it has made life very simple. So if I'm like eating out, I'm not able to get a salad or there is not protein. Also, you also guided me that made also life very simple, that if you're not able to get protein or fiber, then take the this thing, protein powder in a water. So your protein intake is there. You're not losing out much. So you give me such simple but yet so effective tips, which has made life very, very simple. And that is probably was one of the biggest goal that I had, Srividya, to make things simple for myself and not more complicated. So everything can be managed, no matter how what you're eating today. You just you go back home and take your protein shake or protein powder in water, not even a shake. So everything is manageable. That is
You
something
being
which I
a
take away.
vegetarian. Yeah, and also you being a vegetarian, Kriti, a lot of people come to me and ask, oh my God, I'm a vegetarian. What are my protein sources? Right?
Hmm.
So we had to work with vegetarian protein sources and how simple it was to put together your meal. Regular staples. You didn't have to cook something exotic,
Yeah.
right? Paneer or tofu, or you can lean onto your legumes, your lentils,
Yogurt,
sprouts,
Greek
yogurt.
yogurt. Yeah.
So many different choices that you could plate your meal with, right? The
Absolutely.
other game-changing skill that not everybody is aware of, they think when they have to lose weight, they have to count calories, they have to weigh and measure food. We used intuitive eating, basically putting you in connection with your body's natural cues. How game-changing was it for you, Kriti?
Oh, I'm like you said yourself, I would have run away if I had to count my calories and not, complete the program, because that is again so much of stress added to you. We are here to do the program so that somebody takes the stress away from our lives, you know. I I don't think in last 6 months I would have counted my calories even once. I don't know how that functions. But that basic thumb rule, that this the meal plating, that is a game changer. That meal plating is the game changer. When you are managing that, you know, twice, thrice a day, you don't have to be worried about your calories, because you are taking right amount of food and right kind of food, which is I think a better signal to follow than counting calories.
Absolutely. Totally. And so some of your other goals were, definitely manage stress. So some of the stress coping mechanisms that we taught you, how useful were they, Kriti? In terms of pausing, deep breaths, very simple ones, right? Practical ones. How impactful
Deep
were they?
deep breaths. It is a big game changer for me, because earlier everything was happening on its own. I felt I do not have a control on anything. Now at least I'm aware that okay, this particular situation is adding stress in my life. So how do I pause it here? I pause it here by deep breathing. There is so much, obviously, which you have taught me, Srividya. I still need to learn to make a part of my lifestyle. And I think now my focus is going to be that, about the exercise and, this regular deep breathing exercises and everything. That is going to be my focus from now on. But this deep breathing helps me put a pause when the stress starts to build up. So again, I'm taking control, which was not there before. Before I was just I was just getting carried away with what was happening emotionally, reacting to everything. Now I feel okay. I'm getting stressed. This needs to change, and I'll take few deep breaths. And my son would immediately ask me, "What is happening to you?" I said, "No, no, no. I'm just relaxing. I'm just relaxing. Don't worry." So that's also big. It's a very simple tool, but it has brought a lot of change in my life, and
Super.
positive change in my life.
Fantastic. So now let's shift gears to body image, Kriti, because I remember our conversation initially when you said, I don't like looking at my body. I don't like looking at myself in the mirror. I don't want to be in photographs, right? That used to
Mm.
be the conversation before. How have things changed? When you see, look at yourself in the mirror, what do you feel?
I feel happy. I feel positive. I feel, that things can change in life at any given point in time. You don't have to be, you don't have to feel like a loser. The If your body is like my body, I felt like I was swollen from everywhere 6 months ago. At everywhere, my face was swollen, my body was swollen. Now I see myself as more petite than what it used to be. The clothes are fitting better. You feel happy, you feel confident, you get compliments. Although it's an external source of happiness, but it matters. It really matters that your friends are feeling, can notice the change and they compliment, or my husband or my son, they notice the change and they compliment. So it's it's very, very nice to be where I am right now. To feel more happy from inside. It's not only the external, how you look, that also brings you happiness from within. So I feel happy from within. Looking at myself now, yeah, in the pictures and the clothes, everything. It has made me very, very humble also. So that humility is there. That okay, so look where I was and now where I am. So grateful for all that. Yeah.
Very nice. So, what's one thing that you're grateful for your body, Kriti, to have endured all of this and given you this kind of a transformation?
I feel lighter. I feel very light. Obviously, the weight is another issue. There's still a lot of work that needs to go there. But I feel light and I feel less, what do you call, sluggish. That was also a big challenge for me. So, yeah. And that is not, when I say light, it's not only light in the physical form, also mentally, I feel light, which is so nice to experience this thing. And yeah, I think it's not only that I feel light, I think it also gives confidence to people around me that
Mhm.
when I can do this, they can also do this, provided they have the right guidance. And I don't have to go and tell them that. Yeah, they notice it. Like I noticed what happened with my sister-in-law. So yeah, that's all I can say right now.
Awesome, awesome. So, now coming to the guidance, Kriti, how important was that to have a coach by your side, handhold you, guide you, support you, provide you with that accountability?
So there also the mindset has changed. I have realized that we are not we don't have the knowledge of certain things, and I think it was very difficult for me to accept that thing, that I don't know this. Initially I had so many doubts, but I realized I have a limited ability to do certain things. It's so much better if there's somebody who knows it deeper, or who has more knowledge to guide you through it. It's okay, to let go and trust the other person who has more knowledge. And it took me some time to break through that mindset. It's okay to let go, because I can't let go. I just can't. That's my personality. I can't let go. I have to hold on to things very tightly, trying to move things, or do things by myself. But it took so much of stress away. I think it took me about 2 months to break through this mindset, and I completely surrendered. And it's like, fine, it's Srividya's problem. It's not my problem anymore. Yeah. That was again very liberating. And it's so good. You've been like a cheerleader throughout the process, and you've been like a constant shoulder to cry on throughout the process. And you've been so patient. Every time I'll put up a problem there, I was like, Srividya, this is the problem. You will figure out a solution based on my capacity or my situation. It was not like you were putting me in a certain mold. It's not like that. And at no point I felt like that this is being imposed on me. It's not like that. Srividya, this is not happening. That is not happening. You figure out a solution to it, and you will follow up. Sometimes I was overwhelmed, like I can't respond to it right now, but you were there. Then you will tell me, okay, fine, do it at your pace. But I am here in case you need me. That relationship with each other, oh, it's beautiful. I would say it's hats off to you. How much patience that you have. Seriously, I mean, I would have got irritated with myself. So that I am following up, I am asking you to do this. You are not responding as my client. So that way.
You're so funny. I'm so emotional, Kriti. I mean, it's been such an amazing journey with you, and it's because of your open-mindedness that you trusted in the process. You were okay to let go of certain things that made this change possible, Kriti. And I would say, most of the women find themselves in your situation where
Hmm.
they feel it's a sign of weakness to seek help.
Hmm.
We are made that way. Oh, we have to solve every problem on our own. Otherwise, I cannot seek support, right? But it's
Hmm.
because you sought support, we were able to literally bring about a transformation that would have taken years for you to put together on your own,
Hmm.
right? So
Hmm.
literally shrunk the
Absolutely.
time.
Into
Uh,
6 months.
yeah,
And
into six
that's a
months.
big
Years of
achievement.
being stuck, 10 years,
Yeah.
right? Kriti, you've been stuck. And look at what you've been able to achieve in 6 months' time. Isn't that mind-boggling?
Of
And the
course.
kind of skills that you've gained, these are going to stick with you for the rest of your life, Kriti. How does that
Mhm.
make you feel?
I'm a little nervous, honestly, now to be on my own. But I know that, yeah, these are sustainable tools. These are not the tools which you really, really have to put a lot of hard work or brain into it, like how to follow it. It has already become a part of the system. Like meal plating has become a part of the system. Meal prepping has become a part of the system already. So I know I can do it. Although nervous, really nervous, but somewhere I know I will be able to do it because it's not something, I mean, it is extraordinary, but yet so simple to follow. You know, you made life so simple. I think 50% of the stress that you have, you've already taken away through all these processes and all these tools in my
Incredible.
life.
Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of hard work initially to build something as a habit because literally we are ingrained with certain set of habits and behaviors, right?
Absolutely.
So we unlearn certain sets and bring in new ones. And yes, it does take a little bit of time to do that. But once that is done, literally it's become a new fiber of your body and your thinking and all of that. You
Hmm.
act now differently. Your
Hmm.
lifestyle has shifted, right? So
Hmm.
obviously there is no way you're going to give this up, Kriti. So I know there is
Hmm.
a little bit of that self-doubt that is cropping up saying, Kriti, will you be able to do it? But then there is this other voice saying, oh, these are all just skills that I have practiced for so long. I
Hmm.
can keep this going. And like I told you, my doors are open, Kriti. Anytime you
Thank
can
you.
just call her and say, Sri Vidya, hey, I'm having this challenge. What skill should I employ? Absolutely possible to reach out. And like you rightly said, this is a beautiful relationship that we have built, Kriti. And I literally cherish every woman's journey and transformation. And it's a relationship that I built for life because we literally are in each other's inbox every single day.
Hmm.
Six
That's
months
true. Yeah.
next to our spouses, we have spent most time together,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So, this is something that is here to stay, Kriti. Based on your journey, what would you like to share to women who are watching this video?
Oh, everything is possible. Everything is possible. You just have to try and trust, your coach, your process, everything. And there is no goal which cannot be achieved. Yeah. And there is so much still I want to change in my life, but I have come to this point where I know I will be able to, which I did not believe in at all 6 months ago. Yeah, so you just have to trust yourself, be convinced you can do it. And I have done it. I still have to do a lot more, but I have done it. I have broken through that um mindset that it cannot change, or I have to live my life like this. It And that is probably the biggest victory. What you see is the number on a weighing scale, but that's not the biggest victory. The biggest victory is how you have transformed your thought process. So
Absolutely.
yeah, that's the beauty. That don't worry. It's absolutely possible. Whatever your goals are, you can achieve it. So
So beautiful, Kriti. Thank you so much for sharing these beautiful words of wisdom from evidence. This is not
mm,
like you're pulling out of thin
no,
air or
no.
looking at somebody. This is something that you have personally gone through.
Yeah,
And hence, it is
absolutely.
that much more authentic,
Mm,
right? And the, like you rightly said, it's not about the number on the scale, but it's about gaining that confidence in yourself, in your
mm,
abilities, having
mm.
that control that no matter what comes my way, I know I can handle it. How
Yes,
important is it for all of us, all women, to feel that,
yes,
to get back to
absolutely.
reclaim charge of their life
Of
again,
our lives,
right?
absolutely,
So this
absolutely,
journey wasn't about weight loss, it was about helping you come back to yourself, Kriti.
absolutely. Get a control
Building
on
that.
my life, get a control on my happiness. I'm happy. I think that's the biggest takeaway from this program or the last 6 months journey, that I'm happy. I was not. 6 months ago, I was not. I'm happy. I'm in a better space right now.
Look at you talking. Seriously, I'm still having that vision of our first conversation.
I have
You're,
deleted that from
it's
my
like,
mind.
yeah, it's like you're a totally new person. You've built something so powerful, lasting, and completely yours. This is
Yeah.
your journey, right? Super stuff, Kriti. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to work with you. And like I said, let's stay in touch. Keep me posted. I look
Definitely.
forward to hearing updates. And
Yeah.
my doors are always open, Kriti. Okay?
Thank you so much, Revidya. That's very, very reassuring. Thank you so much. Because I know I'm going to fall and then cry for help before I get back on my own feet. So that way. Yeah.
Super. Lots of love and hugs to you. And please, when you come to Chennai, let's meet. Okay? Make a trip.
Definitely.
Okay?
Definitely. I'll come. I'll come and see you. And you are also welcome to come and stay with us here in Germany. I would be really, really happy to have you over.
Thank you. Thank you, Kriti. Thank you so
And
much and
regards from my
take care.
family. And love and regards
Absolutely.
from my family.
Absolutely. Same from my family to yours as well, Kriti. Take care.
Thank you, Shrividya.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Bye. Bye.